What's up, you guys? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm actually not filming in my car for once, and it's a DoorDash related video. Well, not just DoorDash, but delivery app related video. That's weird. I never really do that. It's been a long time. But now that I have this set up, and because it's Monday, it's super slow, I'm here. And I really wanted to film this video. I've been thinking about it, and now is the time. So in today's video, as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking to you about how I make not 100, I was about to say 100, that'd be terrible. I make 1,000 a week by doing DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber, Favor. Those are the only apps I do at the moment. If another one happens to come along one day, I will do that as well. But I'm just gonna be sharing with you my tips and how I make that kind of money on there and my suggestions. I will have a disclaimer in just a second, but I want to also say I'm sorry about this mess. It's still a work in progress. There's a light behind me. I know it's like not cute, but that's just what we're doing at the moment. So let's just get started. I want to first say that this video is meant for people that live in busier areas and that have more than just one or maybe two apps. I used to live in a really small town. All I had was DoorDash, and then I started using Favor, and I didn't make a heck of a lot doing Favor. I never hit 1,000 in a week. Now that I moved to Austin, it's like, I don't think I've not hit 1,000 in a week except for the 2 weeks that my mom was visiting and then when I wasn't even here. So those are the only times because I wasn't actively working. I just wanted to mention that because it is so hard. The most I ever made in a small little town of 7,000 people was like 950. So close, but I just could not hit the 1,000 mark. So I just want to make that very clear that this is more for people that live in bigger areas, that have more potential, that have more earning potential, and that have more apps to work with. It's very hard to make that kind of money, in my opinion, with one app. Just in my opinion. But if you live in a really busy area and you have one app and you're like, I make that all the time, then that's awesome. I'm just talking from my personal experience. But let's just get started. I'm going to be using my phone because I did write some notes down. So don't mind that. It is 12:34. Right when I look at the clock, 12:34. That is so weird. I used to look at the clock all the time at 12:34. Weird. Okay. But I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips on what have helped me earn 1,000 per week. And yeah, please just understand that this may not work for everyone. I'm not saying, oh, you follow these steps, you're going to make 1,000 a week. Obviously, with the way everything is going, things have really slowed down. I barely managed to make 1,000 last week. Like, I hit like 1,050 or something around there. That was it. But it's still good, especially with the way our world is right now. But I just want to mention that things slow down. You never know what could happen. We have no stimulus check at the moment. We have no, I don't think, unemployment checks right now for people that aren't working. So it is hard. Orders have slowed down. So I do think I could make even more if things were normal. But you got to work with what you got. And this is what we got right now. So let's just get started. I'm going to start by saying the ones that I think are kind of the least important to the most important. But those are my opinions once again. So take them with a grain of salt, but these are my 5 tips on how I make 1,000 a week. Why am I moving my hand so much? I don't know. So the first one is don't waste time at restaurants. What I mean by that, I get very frustrated if I'm waiting a long time, but if the order's really good, I will stay and wait a while. Like if it's like a $50 order, I will stay for like an hour, okay? But let's hope that doesn't happen. And I don't get $50 orders, so this is pretty irrelevant. But my point is, don't waste time at restaurants by just sitting around if they keep telling you, look, another 10 minutes, another 10 minutes. I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, what's even the point? I might as well just leave. But then I'm like, ugh, I've been waiting here, so what a waste of time. So that's usually the time where I will chat with DoorDash if the pay's like $8.50 and I'm like, how much is this? Please let me know, because if it's $9, I'm out of here. But make sure you pay really close attention to that because you do not want your completion rating to go below 80, not 90, 80%, or you will get deactivated. They will deactivate you, so don't do that. But just try not to waste time at restaurants. It's really not worth it, especially for like a $6 order. I would be out of there so fast. I do not accept those type of orders though, so wouldn't even be there. But just don't waste time that you don't have time to waste, okay? Because you could be going and getting different orders. You never know what you could have got if you would have just declined that order or ended it 5 minutes ago. You don't know. So the one thing I want to mention with that is Uber orders. I rarely ever have to wait, which is so amazing. Like rarely ever. I like how they're set up. They kind of I believe they send it to the Dashers when it's either done or extremely close to being done. So I can count on one hand how many times I've had to wait for an Uber order at a restaurant, and I've taken like over 100 orders. So it's pretty dang good, pretty good. Next is stay around areas with lots of restaurants. So, I totally forgot to mention, this is if you do this full time, by the way. I think it'd be pretty dang hard to make $1,000 a week if you did not do this full time and you're only doing it on the weekends. I don't know how the hell you do that, but good luck. I could not do that. So this is for full-time people. Just say that really loud. Full-time people, not part-time. Okay? I don't know how much you'd make part-time. Depends on when you would be doing it, what days. But this is full-time. And also, for me, I have a very easy schedule. I'm very flexible. I can work whenever I wake up. I can turn it on, or I usually wait till like 10. If I'm in the mood, I'll start at like 9:30, but I usually don't get orders till like 10 something, even later. So it just kind of depends on how that works out for that day. But I do a lot of other things during the day, so I just leave my apps on all day, and then if I get good orders, I go and do them. I come home, I go do other things. That's just what works really well for me, but I have the flexibility and ability to do it. So if you're working another job, this would be like pretty impossible to hit 1,000 a week. So just keep that in mind that I'm talking to everyone who's doing this full time. Okay? And if you have a lot of time and you can kind of make your own schedule, this is, yes. Hopefully that makes sense. But I would say if you are doing it full time and you're able to go and hang out around places, I sometimes go in this one area that has a lot of places. Lately I haven't because it hasn't really done much. But I like to stay around there when I can because Uber gets really busy down there. There are a ton of restaurants, and so it's really good to be in a very congested area, I feel like, with restaurants, because you have a lot more opportunities to get orders and, you know, decline more orders, accept more orders. I mean, that's just how it works when you're around more places. Where my apartment is located is not the best. Where I live, I'm kind of in the middle of not nowhere, but the nearest restaurant, I mean, it's only a couple miles or like a mile and a half. But they're far and few between, okay? Like, they're not just a whole bunch right there, if that makes sense. And one just closed down, and so it's another one gone. But thankfully, the restaurants aren't super far. That area is only like 5 miles away, the one I'm talking about that I like to go. So it's not too bad, but it's not the best where I'm at right now. Like, right now, I'm not getting bombarded with orders. It's also Monday, so that's probably one of the reasons. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. But if you're able to just go chill somewhere and like just go hang out and wait and like, I don't know, go look at Barnes & Noble books. That's what I like to do sometimes when I'm waiting. Or just, I don't know, go walk around, go sit down, enjoy the sun, enjoy the day. I don't know. That's my recommendation if it's around a place that has a lot of busy restaurants, areas. A place that, you know, orders tend to come from more. So my number 3 suggestion is use multiple apps. I think this is so important. Like I just said, it's really hard to make this type of money if you're in a really small town because usually there's not a whole lot of different apps in that small area. But if you live in a big area, I highly recommend you use multiple apps. I use, like I've said before, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber, Favor. Favor I do not like. Really, I only turn it on when it's super slow. I don't even have it on right now because I'm not in the mood to go wait and get groceries. I'm just not. So yeah, make sure you have multiple apps. I would just download whatever you can possibly get. Other than, I personally hate Postmates. I don't do Postmates. I've done it. I've only done like 5 orders, I think, but never had a good experience with Postmates. The whole system, tipping system, the whole situation. Not a fan, so I don't do them. But you do you. If you want to do it, if like that's all you got, then go for it. But definitely multi-app. Find which apps work really well for you and go from there. Okay, make sure you're always scheduled whenever you possibly can be on DoorDash, Grubhub. I always check Grubhub. It's so hard to get on the schedule. You don't need to schedule yourself with Uber, which I love. It's amazing. So just keep all that in mind and try to do every app that you possibly can. If it's slow in your area, just try to give yourself more opportunities, okay? So my next one is kind of good, but I don't really do this. Like, it works, but I don't. You'll understand in a second. So I would only accept $1.50 per mile if it's slow and $2 a mile if it's busy, but I really don't go by that anymore. That's what I used to go by when I lived in a smaller town once I started realizing, what am I doing accepting these $6 orders unless they're really close. But my order has to be an $8 minimum. Okay, so that's my next one. So that one is like $1.50 or $2. I would pretty much only do $2 a mile, but I don't accept anything under $8 anymore. I have taken a couple $7 orders, but it's just so hard for me to do that. I don't know. I just don't. It's just really hard for me to want to do that, even if it's only like 4 miles. I don't want to. First of all, it's not $2 per mile. It has to be 8. Even if it's 3 miles, unless it's like taking me back home, maybe. Like if I'm delivering to the apartment, okay. Possibly. If it's so slow, I just want to get out there and do something, okay. Maybe $7. Will I take a $6 order? No. Will I do anything under 7? No. Will I do 5? No. Will I do 8? Yes. Will I do anything above 850? Yes, as long as it's reasonable on the miles. But that is my personal thing. I will say the one catch with this, and I'm guilty of doing this recently, but I think it's totally fine. Say I have an order for like, let's just say an order for Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut doesn't even do deliveries, but I have an order for Pizza Hut. Okay, it's $8. Cool, it's like 2.5 miles. I'll do it. Cool, I'm on my way there and I get an add-on order. And I'm like, wow, it's only $5, but it's literally like not even, it's like 0.1 miles, not even 0.1 miles. It's like on the same road as the other one. Or maybe it's going to the same person. Heck yeah, I will accept that. If it's on the same way, like literally on the same road or even the road over, most likely I will accept it if it's from the same place and if they're both done. Obviously, if it's taking forever, goodbye, $5 order, unless it was for the same person. I will do it. Because if you're going to the same place, that automatically turns into like an $8 order into a $13 order. You know what I mean? Because if you're going to the same house, which does happen, believe it or not, if that's never happened to you, it probably will eventually. People sometimes, I guess, will forget to order things and they will like order again and boom, you have another order from the same place usually to the same house. It's pretty cool. That is the only time I would accept something under 8, and I have recently. And the only reason I accepted this other one was because, oop, I got an order. Let's see what it is. No. The only other way, and this is an example I have, is I had an order where the store was in the same complex as the drop-off. It was $5. I was on my way home and I had to pass this area anyways. And I was like, you know what? It's literally walking distance, okay? All I did was I pulled my car in to the place. I could have walked, but I didn't. Okay, I didn't want to walk. But it's so close. So I pulled my car into the store, got the food, literally drove in this little circle, and delivered to like a tanning place that was like that. I mean, I didn't even have to get on the normal road. And I was like, you know what? That was the easiest $5 I've ever gotten. Okay, it was worth it. So those situations are fine. I will take them. That's just, when does that ever happen? So rare. That's the only time I've had that happen. I guess it was just someone at work and they couldn't leave. So I will do that. Easy, fine. Unless I had some other order and I'm like, you know, busy, I'm not going to just stop and go do a $5 order. No. But you get what I'm saying. If it's slow and stuff, hell yeah, I'll do that. It's so easy. But I'm done talking about that. I just went on and on about fucking minimum orders. Sorry. But those are my basic tips for you guys. So pretty much don't waste time. Accept orders that are worth your time. Make the most out of your time. Also, one that I like to follow is I always take the route that is the shortest, even if it's like a minute longer. Usually for me, it does not end up being a minute longer. I will take it. I always double check on my maps. That doesn't really have to do with making more money, but that just helps save me on gas. I like that. Even if it's like half a mile less, I don't care. I'm going to do it. A lot of times I can find routes that are like a mile less because there'll be about 3-4 options. I'm like, that's easy. But a lot of people I feel like don't really know that. And so I always check just to see. And if it's like a minute or two different, I will take the route that's shortest. Just for me, I feel like it does nothing. Like it doesn't affect really how, like, oh my gosh, I'm there 30 seconds later than I would have been. Big whoop. Who cares? That's my opinion. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it helped in some way or gave you a little bit of knowledge. I feel like these videos are towards people that are more starting, who don't know. Like if I watched a video like this, I'd be like, okay, I already knew this. So if you're thinking that, I'm sorry. But I mean, I can't really just make up things, you know? These are what I use to make 1,000 a week. Like I said, this is for people that have the opportunity to do a lot of different apps, who can, you know, go longer. Also, I forgot to mention, in the small town where I used to live, things closed like at 10:30 or something. Now I don't work that late anyways, but things here are open way later. I can get on a schedule, I believe, until like 2 a.m., but I don't do that because why would I? I work too much already, but keep that in mind. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope this helps you in some way. My biggest tip out of all of this is use multiple apps, okay? Download it. Do not do it badly. Like, don't just have someone's ordering your car and just waiting. Like, don't do that, okay? You can get in trouble for that. You do not want to do that. Make sure you're dropping everything off on time. If it's not going to work, just don't do it, okay? Don't accept the other order if it's just not possible, because it will bite you in the ass, okay? Don't do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and please subscribe if you have not already. I really like sitting here and making these videos, but my camera's about to die, so I'm gonna go charge it so I can make more later. Thank you again for being here, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye!
I'm breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired.